Winning couples, I have a question for you. Do you believe that it is possible to have a relatively good marriage? Now, why do I say relatively good? Because how you and your spouse define what it means to be in a good marriage may be different for someone else, but a relatively good marriage, is it possible to be in a relatively good marriage, but the two of you feel disconnected within the marriage? I have some thoughts about it, so let's dive into this conversation. I am Robin May, and I'm the founder of I Believe in Marriage, and it's so good to be with you all. We're going to be here just about 15 minutes, if that, but let's talk about this conversation because I believe being disconnected periodically within a relatively good marriage is more common than you may believe. Now, I need to put some parameters around this because what I have found is that when people are talking about marriage is so hard, I've begun to realize some of what we're describing as a hard marriage isn't what all of us have in mind. And so when I am saying having periods or times of being disconnected, that means being disconnected is the exception, not the rule. Having a season where the two of you feel a little bit off is just that, a season. That is not the norm for your marriage. And so, if you understand that perspective, then I'm going to give you the question again. Do you believe that it is possible to have a relatively good marriage, but to find yourself disconnected in that marriage periodically? And I'm here to say, absolutely, it is possible. Because here is what I have found that the reality is, and we talk about this in Pause and Connect. Have you signed up for Pause and Connect? Pause and Connect is the weekly marriage enrichment in a private podcast form where you and your spouse can get concepts, ideas, conversation prompts every week, every single week for just $17 a month. Have you signed up for Pause and Connect? The link is in the bio. But just recently in Pause and Connect, we talked about the concept of pressure in marriage. And often what I find is that you can have a healthy marriage, but have a season where you and your spouse are disconnected. I teach a concept or a workshop called avoiding the roommate zone, avoiding the roommate zone. And what I share is that in these 20 plus years of me sitting with couples, I have not met a couple that has not at some point in their marriage experienced the roommate zone. I want you to think about whatever couple you highly admire, and I can almost guarantee you, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, yes, they have experienced the roommate zone. I say couples are either in it, coming out of it, or trying to keep themselves from going into it. And so, in that conversation about the roommate zone, one of the things that I teach is that there are three indicators of, or three, not indicators of the roommate zone, three ways that roommate zone can show up, right? Three indicators that impact the roommate zone. And let me tell you what they are. Number one, it is external indicators. And I'm going to define that. External indicators are things that are not necessarily between you and your spouse. I'll say it's what's on you, the pressure that is on you. So let's say you're in a really challenging season at work. Maybe there's a ailing parent that one or both of you are responsible for. Even challenges with a troubled child. It doesn't even have to be a troubled child. Maybe one season, our middle daughter tore her ACL. My goodness, the pressure that was on us as we were trying to navigate that. Those are external influences. It's not necessarily between the two of you. It's just the pressure of the marriage or the pressures of life on the marriage. That's external indicators. Then there are internal indicators, and that's what's happening between us. And so, yes, that is our communication is impacted or challenged. We're not respecting one another. Maybe we are having a major conflict around a decision we're trying to make. It is something going on between us. And then there are personal indicators. Again, what are we talking about? We're talking about the roommate zone. These are the indicators of the roommate zone. And the roommate zone is we're living in the same house together, but we're not necessarily doing life together. We're like two ships passing in the night. So I'm telling you the things that can kind of impact the roommate zone: external influences, internal influences, and then personal influences. And that's not between the two of you. It is just something going on with one person in particular. Maybe I'm frustrated. It's not necessarily the pressure of my job, because that's an external influence, but it's just I'm not satisfied with the work I'm doing. Maybe I'm just not satisfied with this season of my life. Maybe I'm not satisfied with my weight. Maybe I'm having challenges with my health. Maybe it's a season of depression or anxiety. One or both of you could just be having some personal things going on with you, and that is inevitably impacting the marriage. Okay, you with me? So, what are we talking about? How can a good couple be disconnected within the marriage? Well, often it's because of external influences. Now, I want you to hear me, because if you go through this YouTube channel, and I encourage you to do that, if you go through this YouTube channel, I have so many videos on here to help you understand what's going on in your marriage. And so we have done a video. I did a video where I talked about we are good people, but we do not have a good marriage. That's a video that you may want to look at. We've talked about what is the missing piece in our communication, and it's not what you think. Go check out that video. We have talked about how do two people keep fighting about the same thing over and over again. Go check out that video. This conversation, however, is specifically, we have a relatively good marriage, but I've been feeling disconnected inside the marriage. What could be going on? So I just explained to you this concept of the roommate zone, and I talked about the three indicators. And often I have found good people, or people who have a relatively good marriage, but they're feeling disconnected inside the marriage. It is often the pressure that the two of them are dealing with that is inevitably impacting the marriage. That's that external influences. It's a lot of things going on that the two of you are trying to carry the weight of it, and you're missing each other because of it. So again, maybe it is something that is just one partner dealing with external things, or maybe it is both of you. So again, there was a season for us, my husband and I lead a church, Transforming Faith Church. Come check us out if you're local. And when the church is going through a challenging season, that's an external influence that's weighing on the marriage. I have my role at the church. He has his role at the church as the pastor of the church, of course. And so the weight of that inevitably can impact us. It's not us. It is not me feeling disrespected by him, or him feeling disrespected by me. It's not necessarily an issue that the two of us are having in our marriage. It's the weight that we are carrying. Now, to take this a little bit further, the weight of what we are carrying could cause us to begin to interact with each other in a way that could become an internal issue. But that's not always the case. Because remember, I am saying, what about those couples who have a relatively good marriage, but you're just feeling like, I just feel that, I mean, I know he gets me, I know she gets me, I know we good, but we're not really good. We're missing each other. It is the external weight, the external influences. So I hope this is helping you. I told you we're only going to be here for a little bit of time. And so what happens is the external pressure often reduces our emotional availability for one another. What I talked about in Pause and Connect, did you sign up? What we talked about in Pause and Connect is that what can become an aspect of that is our emotional capacity for one another has lessened, but we have learned to keep the rhythms of our life going, that we can miss it initially. And this is the reason why you want to pause and connect. This is the reason why the two of you want to turn toward one another. And so if this conversation resonated with you, here is your takeaway. Here's a simple takeaway. I want you to utilize this. Comment, DM us on Instagram, and let us know what happens as you flesh this out. Here's a simple question. Instead of saying what's wrong with us, what I want the two of you to sit down and talk about is, what are we carrying right now And how is it impacting how we show up with each other? Simple question. What are we carrying right now? What are you carrying? What am I carrying? What are we carrying together? And how is it impacting how we're showing up with one another? All right. I want you to lean in with that. Here's one more question you could ask. I wrote this down. What has been heavy for you lately? Either one of those two questions. That's how you can, it's really three questions. So the first question was, what are we carrying right now? And how is it impacting how we're showing up? Or you could rephrase it as, what's been heavy for you lately? I want you to understand that even good couples can find themselves in a tough place when they don't make it a habit, when they don't make it a rhythm to slow down, lean in, and truly understand what the two of you are navigating in any particular season. All right, I hope that helps. Make sure you share this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment and let me know what your takeaway is. Until next time, remember, we're helping Christian couples win in their marriage. I'll see you next time.